For nearly 300 years, our best weapon against lightning has been a metal stick. Seriously. But what if we could stop just waiting for it to hit and instead tell it exactly where to go? Let's get into the science that's actually making this happen.
And that question right there is kicking off a total revolution in atmospheric physics. We're talking about a leap from a passive defense, something invented back when people were riding horse-drawn carriages, to an active one, born in the age of lasers and space travel. This is a complete fundamental shift in how we even think about the sky.
Okay, so to really get where we're going, you gotta start with the guy who kicked this all off. Benjamin Franklin. I mean, his lightning rod? An absolute stroke of genius. But it was a solution for his time. And our time? Well, our time has some wildly different problems.
Just look at the difference in scale here. It's kind of nuts. Back in 1752, the big goal was protecting, a single building. Fast forward to today, and we're trying to protect these massive, multi-billion-dollar complexes. Airports, rocket launch pads, you name it. A simple metal rod just can't do the job anymore. It just doesn't cover enough ground. We need something that can reach way out there and actively defend a massive zone.
And this all comes down to a key concept called the cone of protection. Basically, a 10-meter rod protects a circle on the ground with a 10-meter radius. So to protect an entire airport runway, you'd need a tower so tall it's just not practical. It's a really smart, elegant solution for sure, but it just doesn't scale up for what we need today.
So if you want to build a better mousetrap, or in this case, a better lightning rod, you first have to understand the mouse. Scientists had to break down exactly what a lightning strike is. Think of it like a sequence of events, a massive electrical circuit in the sky just waiting to be completed.
It all happens in a blink, but it's really like a little three-act play. First, the storm cloud basically turns into a giant battery up in the sky. Then, this channel of negative energy, called a stepped leader, starts snaking its way down, kind of probing, looking for the easiest path to the ground. And then, the final act, the ground sends up its own little streamer of positive charge to meet it. When those two connect, bam, that's the huge flash we see. And the most important part of that whole story is that phrase, path of least resistance.
So what if we could create that path of least resistance ourselves? What if we could just draw a line in the sky and tell the lightning, hey, go right here? Well, that's the whole mind-blowing idea behind the laser lightning rod.
Now, we're not talking about the laser pointer you use to play with your cat. Not even close. We're talking about an ultra-intense, incredibly short pulse of light. It's so powerful that as it shoots through the air, it actually focuses itself. The beam gets so concentrated that it literally tears electrons right off the air molecules around it, creating this channel of supercharged gas, or what we call plasma.
And what you end up with is, well, it's a virtual wire. That plasma channel can conduct electricity. It's like a wire, but instead of being made of copper, it's made of light and air. A wire that we can aim wherever we want, turn on and off, and stretch for kilometers into a storm. It becomes that perfect, irresistible superhighway for lightning to follow.
Okay, so this idea has been floating around for decades, right? But theory is one thing. Actually making it work in the real world, say in the middle of a massive thunderstorm on top of a mountain, that's a whole other ballgame. And for years, every attempt failed. But then, in 2021, everything changed on a remote mountain in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, the first attempts back in the 90s were a total bust. The lasers they had back then were just too slow. They'd create these weird little disconnected blobs of plasma that ended up blocking the lightning instead of guiding it. So it wasn't until 2021 that a European team decided to give it another go in Switzerland. But this time, they had some seriously next-level laser tech.
And this was the secret sauce. 1,000 pulses, every single second. That ridiculously fast repetition rate meant the laser could keep refreshing that plasma channel faster than the air could cool it down. So it wasn't just creating a path, it was maintaining it, keeping that virtual wire connected and stable just long enough for the lightning to grab onto it. And it actually worked. High-speed cameras caught it all, lightning strikes following the laser's path perfectly. I mean, think about that. For the first time ever, we didn't just passively protect ourselves from lightning, we actively steered it. It was a moment that proved we could, in a very real way, finally start to control the power of the heavens.
So that success on Säntis Mountain, it was way more than just a cool experiment. It was basically the dawn of a new age. It blew the doors wide open for applications that Benjamin Franklin could never have even imagined.
And the difference here is just staggering. We're shifting from a passive piece of metal just sitting there to an active system we can actually aim. From a range that's tied to how tall you can build something to a range of kilometers. From a physical copper rod to a dynamic, virtual wire made of plasma. It's a complete paradigm shift.
So what's the big deal? Why does this matter so much? Well, imagine you could clear the air over a rocket launch pad, completely getting rid of those costly launch delays because of bad weather. Or what about actively guiding lightning away from an airport during a storm, protecting all that delicate electronics and keeping flights on time? This is all about putting an incredible new layer of defense around our most critical and most vulnerable infrastructure.
Now, of course, we're not going to see these on every rooftop tomorrow. The challenges are pretty huge. For one, these lasers are incredibly power-hungry. They can have trouble with things like heavy fog or rain. And yeah, you can't just go firing a terawatt laser into the sky without coordinating very carefully with air traffic control. Oh, and right now, they cost millions of dollars.
But hey, let's be real. Every game-changing technology starts out super expensive and complicated. The key thing is, the physics is now proven. We've officially gone from being a species that just hides from the storm to one that can actually direct it. And as this tech gets better and cheaper, seeing a laser beam carving a safe path through a storm could become just as normal as those metal rods that have been on our rooftops for centuries. The question isn't if we can control lightning anymore. The real question is, how are we going to choose to use that incredible power?